Good morning, students. Welcome to the Physics E-class. So, in the previous lecture, we talked about different graphs related to the velocity and the displacement. In the next topic and in the next lecture, we are going to discuss about some special cases of velocity time graph. That means if we are having velocity time graph, then how can we calculate the value of the distance and the displacement by using velocity time graph? So in this lecture, we are going to discuss about the topic. So whenever we are talking about calculation of distance or the displacement for the from the velocity time graph, in the in that particular case or in that particular topic, very first condition we are having, if very first we are having the velocity time graph of an object moving with the constant velocity. That means if any of the object moving with the constant velocity, so we already studied about the shape of the graph. So we are having one parallel line parallel to the time axis. So x-axis always represents the time axis and y-axis always represents the velocity axis. So if you are having parallel line, if you are having parallel slope or the parallel line along the time axis, so that shows the object is moving with the constant velocity. What is the meaning of constant velocity? That means if any of the object will move from the velocity of 20 km per hour, 20 meter per second, so by the changing of the time, it will keep on moving with the velocity of the 20 km per hour or 20 meter per second. That defines the constant velocity. Now, if by the velocity time graph, if we want to calculate how much distance an object travels, how much distance an object travels during the journey or during the two time intervals during its journey, so how will we calculate the velocity, the value of the distance by using the graph? So in that particular case, very first we are having to calculate distance traveled in a time interval. We need to find out, so any of the time if you are having the velocity time graph, so we will use the area enclosed. So we will use the area enclosed to use the graph. So whenever we are having the velocity time graph and if we want to calculate the distance traveled by the object by using velocity time graph, so all the time we have to calculate the area under the graph whenever we have to calculate and we want to calculate the value of the distance traveled by the object. But if we don't want to calculate the total distance traveled by the object during the whole journey, and if we want to calculate the particular distance traveled in the particular interval of time, so we will enclose only that much area, that much of the area under the graph, instead of having total area under the graph. But if we want to calculate the total distance, so we will calculate the value of area under the graph of the whole graph, that is from the this point to the this point. But if we calculating distance traveled during a particular interval of the time, that means for only t1 time to t2 time, we want to know how much distance traveled by the object. So we will enclose only this much of the area under the graph. Now, so to calculate the distance traveled in the time interval, we need to find out the area under the graph as shown in the above figure. Now, so very first case we are having, if we want to calculate the distance traveled between time interval t1 and t2, we have to calculate area enclosed by the rectangle. So in the very first case, in the very first step, we have to check the area enclosed in any particular interval of the time or for the whole journey or for the whole graph. But if we are talking about this particular interval of time, that means we have to calculate the time for this particular interval of time. So what we have to do, we have to enclose only this much of the area. Now in the next step, what we want to know, we have to know that what is the shape of area enclosed under the graph. What is the shape of area under the graph? So by the figure or by the diagram, as we know that if we enclosed this much of the area for the particular interval of time t1 and t2, so the shape of the graph, the shape of the area enclosed under the graph is a shape of the rectangle. That means if we calculate the value, if we calculate the area of the rectangle for this particular area, for this particular portion of the graph, so from that particular value, from that value of the area under this portion of the graph will gives us the value of the distance traveled by the object in this particular interval of time. Now, if we write down this statement in the mathematical form, so how will we write down? If we want to find out distance traveled between the time interval t1 and t2 from the above diagram, so we have to calculate area enclosed by the rectangle ABCD. So where is the rectangle ABCD? This is the rectangle ABCD. So if we calculate area of this rectangle under the graph, so that will gives us the value of the distance traveled by the object during this time interval. So what will we do in the next step? By the formula, by the maths relation, as we know that what is the area of the rectangle? So area of the rectangle is defined as the length into breadth. So this value of AB into AC, AB into AC or CD into BD will gives us the value of the, we can write down this value as the AB into AC, or we can write down CD into BD. Any of the value we can write down because area of the rectangle is only the multiplication of the length into breadth. So AB into AC, AB into AC or CD into BD, we can write down any of the value. AB into AC will gives us the area of the rectangle ABCD, and that value of the area of the rectangle will gives us the distance traveled by the object during the time interval t1 and t2. So this case we are having very first case of the velocity time graph. So whenever we are having velocity time graph for the constant velocity of the object, so how will we calculate the distance traveled by the object? So this is the way we can calculate the distance traveled by the object. Now we are having the second case. In the second case we are having the velocity time graph, but any of the object moving with the uniform acceleration. That means acceleration of the object will keep on changing with the particular instant of the time. Then consistent in the consistent amount, if acceleration, if velocity of the object will keep on changing, that will gives us the value of the uniform acceleration. Now in the previous lecture we already talked about this type of the graph. So whenever we are having constant acceleration of the object, so how will we plot velocity time graph for that particular object? So velocity time graph we will plot as the straight line originated from the origin of the coordinate axis. That is, this slope of the line will represent, the slope of the line will represent the acceleration of the object. And what type of acceleration of the object? Uniform acceleration of the object. Now in that particular case, if we want to calculate the distance traveled, if any of the object having this type of graph between velocity and the time, so if we want to calculate the value of the distance traveled by the object during the whole journey, or the during particular interval of the time. If we calculate distance traveled by the object during the whole journey, so what we have to do? We have to calculate area enclosed under the whole graph. That means from O to A point we will enclosed and we will shaded this area. So that will gives us the value of the total distance traveled by the object during its whole journey. But if we only wanted to calculate the value of the distance traveled by the object during this much of the time interval, so we will enclose only this much of the area of the graph, and by the shape of the graph we will calculate the value of the distance traveled by the object. Now in this particular graph, if we are calculating how much is the distance traveled by the object during this time interval t1 and t2. So what is our first step? So very first we will enclose this much of the area of the graph. So we will define this much of the area by the dotted line. That means that shows that we will only calculate the value of the distance during this time interval only. Now in this particular shape we are not having one particular shape of this enclosed area. So now in the next step what will we do? We will separate and we will just calculate the value of the distance by separating this graph into the two sections. So if we just draw the line from this point A to the this point C, so graph will divide into the two portions. One is the upper portion and second is the lower portion. First upper portion, what type of the shape of the upper portion of the graph is? That is the triangle, or we can say the right angle triangle. And what is the shape of the second portion of the graph? That is as a rectangle. So that rectangle. That means if we firstly calculate the area of the triangle and next we calculate the area of the rectangle and then we add both the values of the area of rectangle and triangle, then that will gives us the total value of the distance traveled during this time interval. Why we are separating this graph into the two portions? Because if we calculate A, B, E, D, if we calculate, we are not having this as a particular shape A, B, E, D. So we will separate this particular shape into the two simplified forms. One is in the form of the triangle and another one is the form of the triangle. After calculating the area separately, we will added the area together and we are having the value. After that we are having the value of the total area enclosed by the graph A, B, E, D. Done? So, in the second case, now what will we do to calculate the distance between the time interval t1 and t2? We need to find out area represented by ABED. So, area of ABED, we can divide this area into the two portions. One is the triangle and another one is the rectangle. So, area of the rectangle plus area of the triangle. So area of the rectangle, as we know that length into breadth. So accordingly from the graph we can write down this value plus area of the right angle triangle. We are having the formula for that, A 1 by 2 base into height. So now in the triangle, what is the base of the triangle? AC is the base of the triangle and BC is the height of the triangle. So we'll write down here the value AC 1 by 2 AC into BC. Done? So these two cases are the next portion of the graphical representation of the motion. In the very first portion, we studied about the simple formulation, simple graphs related to the different conditions of the motion of the object. Now, in the second portion of that particular topic, under graphical representation of the motion, we studied about the velocity, distance traveled by the object by using velocity and velocity type graph. So you have to revise these two portions of the today's topic. These are very important for the numerical portion, and our third portion of the topic, graphical representation of the motion. In the next class, we are going to study about the most important topic of the chapter, that is the equations of the motion. So now, after summarizing these topics, these three cases, now we'll talk about some numericals that are based on the topics which we have already covered. In the very first numerical, we are having the velocity time graph of car is given below, and the mass of the car is 100 kg. Done. So this is the graph of the car of the velocity and the time. Now we have to calculate what is the distance traveled by the car in first 2 seconds. Now if we just go through the graph, so we are having this shape of the graph. Done. So this shows that the uniform acceleration, this shows that the constant velocity of the object, and this shows that the retardation or the negative acceleration of the object. So from the graph, if we talked about the graph, we see that this is A, B, C, D. This is the shape of the graph. Graph is starting from the 0. This is having the value of the 2, and this represents the 2 seconds. After, because we are having the value of the time in the seconds. This is as the 5 second, and this is the value as the 6 seconds. Similarly, in the y-axis or along the velocity axis, we are having written here 15, that is 15 meter per second. So 15 meter per second is the velocity of the object. Now what we have to calculate? We have to calculate distance traveled by the car in the first 2 seconds. So if we talked about first 2 seconds, so first 2 seconds, this value of AE represents the first 2 seconds of the journey of the car. Then, so we have to calculate distance traveled during these two first seconds, not for the whole journey. So what will we do in the first step? We will enclose this much of the area by using this dotted line. Done? In the first step, we have enclosed this much of the area only. So what is the shape of the area now? OB, we can write down here ABE. This is as the right angle triangle. In the next step, that means we have to calculate area under the graph ABE. Now the shape of the graph is in the right angle triangle form. That means if we calculate the area of the right angle triangle, so that will gives us the value of the distance traveled in the first 2 seconds. So in the next step, we will apply the formula, that is 1 by 2 base into height. So if we just apply the formula, so we will get the value car in first 2 seconds area of triangle ABE. So 1 by 2 base into height. So 1 by 2, what is the value of the base? The value of the base is from A to E, and what is the value of AE? That is 2 seconds, or the value 2 into. Now what is the value of the BE? This value of the BE will be equals to the, from this point to this point, 15 to A. That means 0 to this point. So what is the value of the object from this point to this point? That is 15 value we are having up to the this point. So we'll write down here the height 0 to this point, and up to this point we are having the value of the distances, we are having the value of up to the this point 15. So we'll write down here 1 by 2 into 2 into 15, that will gives us the value of the 15 meter. That means in the first 2 seconds of the journey of the car, it covers 15 meter distance only. Now this is very first numerical we are having related to the velocity time. Now we'll move to the next numerical. So in the next numerical, velocity time graph shown the motion of the cyclist. No, so we have to calculate its acceleration, velocity, distance traveled by the cyclist. And here graph is given to you. So y-axis represents the value of the time. This will represent 5 second, 10 second, 15 second, 20 and 25. Or this axis represents the velocity of the cyclist, and velocity is in meter per second. So this is 5 meter per second, 10, 15, 20. So now, very first we have to calculate the acceleration. Now, as we know that this is the parallel line. So for the velocity time graph, we are having the parallel line along the x-axis. So by the previous lectures, so we already know about that the condition of the graph, if we are having parallel line along the time axis, so the velocity of the object will constant, and if velocity of the object is not changing, so acceleration of the object will always be equals to 0. If velocity is not changing means initial final both velocities are same, and if initial final both velocities are same, and if we put that those values into the equation of into the formula of acceleration, that is a equals to v minus u upon t. So that will gives us the v or v equals to u. So both value will be cancelled from each other. So we will get the zero acceleration of the object. Now in the next we have to calculate the velocity of the cyclist. So as we know that velocity, we are having the velocity up to this point, that is 20 meter per second. That means object or the cyclist is moving constantly with the 20 meter per second velocity. The velocity of the object is not changing with the time, it is remain constant. So the velocity of the object is 20 meter per second. After that, we are having the third part, distance covered by the cyclist in the 15 second. Again, we are having the same steps to calculate the distance traveled by the object. So we have to very first, we will just check out. We are not calculating the distance for the whole journey. We are calculating only the velocity or the distance up to the 15 seconds. So very first we will enclose this much of the area. So if we enclose this much of the area, in the next step we have to calculate the area, enclosed area under the graph. So what will be the shape of the graph? That will be the rectangle shape of the graph. So if shape will be the rectangle, that means the area of the rectangle will gives us the value of the distance travelled by the cyclist. So distance covered in the 15 second will be equals to the area of the rectangle ABCO. We already covered and closed this much of the area up to the 15 second. So this shape is shape of the rectangle. So we will calculate the area of the rectangle, and that will gives us the value of the distance travelled. So area of the rectangle BABCO. So AB into height, length into breadth, that will be AB into OA. So up to AO, we are having the value of the 20, and AB, we are having the value of AB. So that means this much of the line will, this line will be equals to the this line. So value of the AB will be equals to the value of the OC, and what is the value of the OC? That will be equals to the 15 second. So 15 into 20 will be equals to the 300 meter. That means in the first 15 second object covers 300 meter distance during its journey. Now, so that's all for today. Thank you.